Our role in connecting companies with creators is getting more and more important in this day and age. I think it's an important way for businesses to more effectively communicate when we don't necessarily spend as much time talking about ourselves as we do letting the creators highlight the advantage of the tools that we sell and work with. And with that, as they're doing this, why don't I just... Are we just going to have a little conversation about it? Can you give people some background, first of all, on how long you've been doing this role with Snapmaker and where you came from before that?
Oh, sure, yeah. I started with Snapmaker on April Fool's Day, 2024.
Did you think it was a joke then, originally?
A bit of a joke, yeah. I posted on LinkedIn, and everyone thought that it was, that it was just a joke. Oh, some people thought that, yeah. But it's been a good year so far, yeah. So before that, I worked in cameras and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I'm comfortable with the camera. It's very fun.
Fantastic. So,
Yeah.
so 3D printing is actually a newer industry for you to be in. But did you have a similar position in a different industry? Have you always been in the marketing and influencer marketing space?
Yeah, I had dabbled in influencer marketing in my previous company, right? And I had done a lot of marketing over the years, right? So jumping into this role was taking something I've done before a little bit and popping it up into being like 50% of what I do, on top of PR and special events. So I'm all over the place.
A renaissance man, real renaissance man. That's near and dear to me as well. I love a variety. Like we were saying earlier, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. You probably don't either.
I have no idea what I want to be when I grow up. Yeah. What are your dreams? Are there a couple options out there?
Ask me today, you'll get a different answer than tomorrow and the next day, probably. There we go. Well, I don't want to eat into your time too much. Do you want to just kind of get started off of here? And
that sounds good.
This kicks in, we can.
If we can pop my guy up on the big screen, because I see it on the monitor.
It's here.
It's on the monitor. It's not up on that one.
All right, so I think I'm sure they're working on that.
One of the important things. So pretty, design and make you ride. Is rolling with the punches and figuring out how things are going. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Hey, okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Cheers.
Mr. Blayne Sapelli from Snapmaker.
That's right. Hi, how's it going, everybody? Cheers. Lovely to be here today in Amsterdam. This is my first time here in 10 years. 10 years ago, I thought this was the coolest city on the planet Earth. And I'm still in love with it. I think it's checked out. My 20-year-old self was about right on that. Cool. So what I'm here today to tell you is go and buy a Snapmaker. Okay, the end. Bye-bye. Okay. My talk was, industry and community and creatives. So I want to work with that actually in reverse order. So let's start with creativity. What is creativity? I've heard this a couple times here at the conference. Does anyone have an answer before I start rolling? No? Okay, cool. Yesterday, Pierre, Swedish maker, talked a little bit about his view on what creativity is, which is that there's no such thing as a completely novel and new idea, that everything is compounds on itself. You take one thing, and you take another thing, and you combine them, and you have something new. As Einstein said, we all stand on the shoulders of giants. Everything that we do builds on our previous knowledge and experience, and the previous knowledge and experience of humanity before us. So on top of that, I wanted to add something about the process of creation a little bit. Creativity, as we have established, doesn't come from a blank page. It doesn't come from giving a child a blank piece of paper and a bunch of crayons and boom, be creative, make Picasso, make something amazing. It comes from having problems. It comes from having restrictions. You have a piece of paper that is a certain size. You have a certain set of colors to work with, right? And so when we fight and struggle against these restrictions and we run into problems, I think that's when we're forced to be creative and we actually pull out these novel solutions and combine the things that we know and the experiences that we've already had and make them happen. So I think about a creative solution that I have had to a problem in my life And I can tell a little story, but does anyone here have a nice creative solution they have encountered, they have given to something that they've had in their lives? A problem, a way of solving it. I'll jump right into mine then. When I moved to Norway to study at university, I got all of my stuff sent to me from the US, all my winter clothes and stuff, in a giant box at the bottom of a hill, and there was a big highway in between, and I had to take the box back up the hill. So I had no idea how I was going to carry this thing. It's like 100 kilograms. I could barely carry it. So I tried putting it in a shopping cart and pushing it, but there's a big staircase over the highway. I tried harassing people in the parking lot to give me a ride back to my apartment. And what I ended up doing is, down at the bottom of that hill, I found a pizza shop. And so I ordered a pizza for myself from inside of the store and got there and went back up there. So what happened really was I encountered a problem, and I took what I knew and I changed it just a little bit. So, right, restrictions on our time, on our resources, other frustrations. I think this creates a friction that sparks innovation. That, to me, is creativity. Yesterday, I talked to a SnapMaker user who also had an interesting problem, which is that he was unhappy with the way planetarium models work. And so he took his CNC, he took his laser cutter, and he did all kinds of amazing things to start building his own little planetarium model, just because he was unhappy with it, right? I think that is the essence of what I want to say when I talk about you find an interesting problem, you spend time with it, and eventually you move and you overcome it. So, community. I think that's the whole point of this event. We're coming here together to build community, to work with each other, to build these networks, to ping ideas off of each other. So, right, perhaps the most interesting thing about 3D printing is that we have a solution in search of a problem. So we have these, especially with a SnapMaker, where you've got the laser and the CNC and the 3D printing, you've got an incredible solution that can do all kinds of solutions. And what you're doing is you're looking around in your life, and you're looking around in your friends' lives, trying to find, all right, how do I solve a new problem? I think this is a really interesting place to be. Right? So I think, as I said before on the panel, there are people who are into 3D printing. There are people who are into 3D printers. And there are people who have a different hobby, and for whom the 3D printer or maker tool is a pass-through to the next thing. So this is the goal when I search for probably the most high-value creators, is how do we expand where we are right now, right? So recently I had an interesting one, which is someone found that they could use all three functions of my machine to make different fishing lures and different equipment for fishing. And that's not a particularly engineering-heavy hobby. A lot of the people into robotics and other engineering stuff, they can really use 3D printers and CAD software and things like that. So finding people who are into different hobbies in different places is really exciting and really interesting for me. So working with finding these people is all about building the networks, having the community, learning them in real life. That's right. This is where ideas thrive. You have people to bounce off. It's like your brain just pinging neurons off of each other, right? So we're here in Amsterdam because we want to be part of it. We want to support our users. We want to find makers who aren't our users, and we want to be part of the zeitgeist, right? The universal spirit. And so finally, I'll talk a little bit about industry. But I don't think you really want to see too much about industry, so I'll post a picture of my daughter and my cat. So for better or worse, money is what makes the world go round, right? It's what brings the sponsorships in. It's how we collect money to do more research and development to make our products better. And these stories might be a little colorful, but this explains the background of my philosophy of what I look for when I look for creators. I have all kinds of metrics. I look at average views per video, right? Growth rates over the past amount of time. But what excites me most is what can expand the community and how can We find creative solutions to new problems to bring new people into our little makerspace. That is what is beautiful to me. Reach people who can use 3D printing, who haven't even thought of it before, right? So my real question is, do you have a unique hobby? Do you have a special use case for this? And that is what excites me the most. I actually want to keep this short and give everyone a little break. So that's it, unless anyone has any questions.
Any questions for Blayne? Oh, we got one back here, yeah.
Sure.
Give me a second, let me bring in the mic. Here you go.
Hello, Blayne. It's a really, really simple one, actually. The machine does 3 different things. What, from your perspective, is the strongest point? Where would you push it? Is it the printing? Is it the milling? Is it the cutter? Or do you see no real difference between the 3 options?
On our machines generally, I think the strongest place is probably laser. Really, it's having the flexibility to do one thing that can do multiple things. But I would say laser and CNC are definitely the strongest ones at the moment, for sure. That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's good. Other questions for Blayne? No? All right, I know we're rounding out. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here, Blayne.
Pleasure.
Snapmaker, Blayne Sapelli. Appreciate it.
Very fun.
Man.
Cheers. Appreciate it. All right. Let's take a break, refresh ourselves a little bit.
Watch our project soon.